Hello, everyone. Aviation YouTube video. Now, you may have seen that we've posted our longest documentary to date. I think it was around 35 minutes long. Now that is a big record, I guess, but it was pretty interesting. So do watch that, guys. That will be in the end of the video, your recommended page, as we will do that for you. Don't worry. This is kind of like a part 2 sequel to that. And we might also be having a new member to the team, and that might be a aviation. I don't know. Let me just confirm. So, mistake, everybody. We read out the wrong name. It's going to be Gunther Aviation. Gunther Aviation might be joining us soon. Now, our first airport that we're going to be looking at today is Porto. It's in Porto. Now, Porto is in Portugal in Geography Genius 267. Do you want to give a quick overview of Portugal?
Yes, so Porto is a state in Portugal, and Portugal is a country in southwest Europe. It's like sandwiched between the Atlantic Ocean and Spain, and it's just like the small section that isn't Spain, but it's Portugal. And the thing is, Portugal really is a showing, not a showing, I don't know what the word is, but Portugal really is an example of that size isn't everything, because Portugal had a lot of power in the 16th century as they colonized Brazil, which is a very powerful country to colonize, as well as some of South Africa, Southern Africa, not the Republic of South Africa, like Mozambique and more. And I know Aviation 18 really is interested in colonization history. So, yeah.
That's right. So, let's just take a look at some of these planes here. I think there's a private jet here. There's an ATR turboprop there. A couple of airport buses over there. Now let's try and look at some more. Same airline turboprop. I can't really identify that airline. This is SATA International. I think that's actually an A310. Very interesting. I wonder when this shot was taken. Ryanair 737s over here. There's an EasyJet A320 in the old livery, another one in the old livery. So a couple of TAP Air Portugal A320s there. I really like TAP Air Portugal. And so does Geography Genius 267. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Geography Genius 267. What airline do we have? Not what airline, what airport do we have next?
I think next up is Brisbane Airport.
That's right. So, Brisbane Airport. Do you want to give a quick description about Brisbane in Australia?
Yes. So, as Aviation 18 just said, Brisbane is in the east of Australia, as you can see on the screen right
guys,
now.
I think Geography Genius 267, if I'm right in saying Brisbane is kind of like a seaside kind of town, am I right?
Oh, yes, it's very famous for seaside and stuff. It's in the state of Queensland, and it's just very close to the start of the famous Great Barrier Reef, which is the longest coral reef. And a fun fact, it's actually the largest living thing on Earth. People always say, if you ask them a question, what's the largest living thing? They say the blue whale. But since coral is a plant and the Great Barrier Reef is just spans nearly half of the eastern coast of Australia, it's the largest.
So very interesting there from Geography Genius 267. Now let's look at what we have here. So, Qantas 747s, Geography Genius 267. Don't you like the Qantas 747s?
Ah, yes, Qantas 747 is one of my personal favourites. I like all 747s, and it's sad that they're getting retired. But yeah, Qantas 747s really do look cool.
That's right, and I can't really see what. I think that's Air Niugini. There's a Singapore Airlines A313. We see a lot of traffic from Singapore to Australia. And there's a Qantas A330, a Virgin Australia Boeing 777. There's a really nice livery Air New Zealand 777. I can't really see. I think that says Air Pacific. We have a Virgin Australia 737 here. We have a cebupacific.com. I think, or I think there was flypacificblue.com 737 over there. A Virgin Australia 737 over here. Another Virgin Australia 737 here. Cathay Pacific 8330. And that's just a plain white 737 that we have here. And over here we have a whole terminal dedicated to Virgin Australia terminal here at Brisbane. Virginblue.com.au special livery there. Virgin Australia and just Virgin aircraft in general. And there's a couple of Jetstar, which is a subsidiary of Qantas over there. A couple of Qantas aircraft here, Qantas 737s and some turboprop Qantas Link aircraft. So very interesting in total. You want to tell us what we're doing next, Geography Genius 267?
Yes, next up is Amsterdam Schiphol.
Amsterdam Schiphol, oh yes. So sorry for the typo there. Amsterdam Airport Schiphol. And do you want to give a quick description about the Netherlands, Geography Genius 267?
Yes, so at the moment we are going to Amsterdam. As you can see on the screen right now, we just arrived at Amsterdam for our virtual journey. And Amsterdam is a very famous city in the tiny country of the Netherlands. Even though Netherlands is tiny, again, size isn't everything. Netherlands is still an amazing place. It's famous for rivers and, as Amsterdam, the name suggests, dams. And also, it's got lots of other cities such as Rotterdam. The Hague is famous for court, where lots of cases are taken to the Hague, even if they're in like the United Kingdom or maybe even like the US.
I think we seem to have lost Geography Genius 267, but I don't know why I'm laughing. I think it's probably at the abrupt ending of that, but yes.
Sorry, I think I was accidentally muted.
I think that might have been the reason.
Anyway, so yeah, that's it about Amsterdam.
And so the reason that we have Amsterdam Schiphol is because there's a special livery. Now, I don't normally like to do like these 2D ones, but I just came across it and I thought, yes, this is perfect for the video. So we obviously, as you can imagine, we have a lot of KLM aircraft here because KLM is the flag carrier of the Netherlands. We have a couple of special livery 100 years of KLM liveries here. But the most special of them all, these are all just normal KLM liveries. There's an Etihad 787 here. But we have the KLM Orange Pride 777 here. And that is a really nice livery. And I think all of us like it here at Simple Aviation. Don't we, Geography Genius 267?
Sorry, I had a bit of connection issues. So what are we talking about now?
Yeah, we're talking about how the Simple Aviation team likes the orange livery of KLM.
Oh yes, indeed, they do a lot. Here at Simple Aviation, we are very big fans of the orange livery of KLM.
That's right. So, moving on, what is our next airport, Geography Genius 267?
It is Bournemouth Airport in the United Kingdom.
So, Bournemouth Airport is in Parley Lane. And yeah, do you want to give a quick description about Bournemouth, Geography Genius 267?
Yes, so Bournemouth is quite a small city in the United Kingdom. It's quite close to the capital, London, but you might have heard of Southampton and Portsmouth. Well, it's just a little bit from there. It's called Bournemouth, hence the name. It's near Portsmouth. And it's got lots of beaches and an airport, Bournemouth International. And there's also Southbourne in there. And Poole.
That's right. So let's have a look at these aircraft. So we have a Ryanair 737 over here, another Ryanair 737. I can't really see what one that is, but one of the special reasons that we had oh, this is actually special because it's one of those earlier 737s because it has the eyebrow windows. More on that in another documentary. We promise another documentary on this. But this is very interesting because it looks like some bomber or something is parked here. Now British Airways 747s were actually parked on the runway until they were retired, so very interesting. But apart from that, it hasn't really had much traffic. There's a Flybe Q400 that was obviously parked after Flybe went out of business. And that's pretty much it. A couple of private jets in the corner there. And yeah, do you want to move on, Geography DNS267? What's the next airport?
The next airport is Seattle Tacoma.
Okay, so Seattle Tacoma International Airport. So do you says that something's gone wrong, guys. So I'm just gonna go and fix it. And so sorry everybody. We've got Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Now Geography DNS267, do you want to give a quick description of Seattle Tacoma?
Yes, so Seattle Tacoma International Airport is in the city of Seattle in the state of Washington, which is in northwest United States. Not to be confused with the capital city of the United States, Washington, District of Columbia. There's also a state called Washington, which is actually on the other side of the United States. It's very close to the border of Canada, and it's got a bit of the Rocky Mountains in there.
And Geography DNS267, I believe that this one is in the state of Virginia, I think.
Oh no, it is in the state of Washington. But another airport that will look in the rest of this video is in the state of Virginia. Just a little heads up.
I'm just gonna check that. I might be
Yeah,
wrong.
it does say here in the corner, Seattle Tacoma in, and then International,
really
and
sorry.
it says WA.
I'm really sorry, Geography DNS267. I think I've mixed up my airports. And they're located.
No worries, it happens all the time.
What we have here is a Delta A319, a Delta. I think might be a 737 Max. So very impressive there. We have an Alaska 737 NG with a split scimitar winglets. And so that was in the old livery. American 737 we have here, and so we have Prime Air 767 here. There's a terminal here that says Alaska Air Cargo. If you're wondering about Alaska, well, we've got an Alaska Airlines A321neo model review, so do check that out on our Google sites. There's a United hangar. And yeah, that's pretty much Seattle Tacoma for you guys. We've got a couple more aircraft to show you. There's a Delta A319 and a couple more aircraft here. Can't really see what aircraft that is. Yeah, I can't see that one, but this one is in Alaska in Q400 in old livery. Moving on to PD67, what's the next airport?
The next airport is, as a matter of fact, Innsbruck Airport. And sorry for the bad pronunciation.
Innsbruck Airport is in Austria, and PD67 is here to give a short description on Innsbruck.
Yes, so Innsbruck is in Austria, and although it's spelled Innsbruck, and I made this mistake as well, it's actually pronounced Innsbruck and it's in Austria. They speak German, and that is the German pronunciation. And so Austria is a country that is actually just below Germany. As you can see on the map that we're going through now, it is just near the central, and Austria is very close to Yugoslavia and the Balkans. Also, you got Italy to the south, and it's got a lot of the Alps in there. Very big, tall mountains. So great place to go.
Right, so let's zoom in on some of these aircraft. A lot of those small aircraft. Now, at Simple Aviation here, we don't cover military aviation or private jet aviation. We just look at commercial aviation because there is a huge sector there that we can cater to for the media. Because yeah, I mean, commercial aviation news, very interesting. So It's very interesting. So we cover more. We cover basically commercial aviation. We don't really cover much else. Now, recently we've got the news that Austrian Airlines retired their Dash Q400s. But yeah, these were obviously there when the photo was taken. A couple more aircraft here. I don't know what these aircraft are doing here with no gears. That's interesting. Never seen that. And then there's a couple more turboprops here. Not much more commercial aviation over here. So that's it from Innsbruck Airport. What's the next airport for 267?
The next airport is I'm just getting it up. I think it will be San Francisco.
That's right. So San Francisco airport is in California. It's in the city of California, and it's I might give you a bit of information before handing back to Geography Genius 267. I believe that it has the Golden Gate Bridge as one of its main tourist attractions. So yeah, Geography Genius 267, take the stage away.
Yes, so like Aviation 18 just said, San Francisco does have the famous Golden Gate Bridge, which stretches over the Golden Gate Delta, which flows into the Pacific Ocean eventually. But it connects two parts of San Francisco that stretch over the Golden Gate Delta. And so also San Francisco is in California, as Aviation 18 also said, and it is the most populated state in the United States. Alaska is the biggest state by area, but California is the most populous state, especially courtesy of Los Angeles and San Francisco, the most populous cities.
Yeah, so we're going to discover San Francisco Airport now. So I'm really sorry, guys, if your screen is lagging because this kind of happened in our last video because obviously Google Earth is sometimes a bit laggy, and when it comes onto your screen when we record it, it does become a bit laggy. So we would like to apologize for that. Anyway, back to the video. We have a couple of Alaska 737 and Embraer aircraft here, all in the new livery here at San Francisco. And then we have not many aircraft here. There's an aircraft, we can't really see it. Yes, it's United Express there, old livery there. Talking of United, guys, we've ordered a United A320 in the old livery model. Now it came yesterday, a big story, guys, for our review. So in short, it came damaged, and we're gonna be getting you a better review of the same model, but it's gonna not be broken this time. We have a JetBlue A320 over here, and that's pretty much it here at San Francisco. Yes, there are two more aircraft here that I just want to give a shout out to. United Express, I think it was one of the CRJ aircraft. There's a United Embraer E175, and one more aircraft here, I think. That's another United Express CRJ aircraft, but this time it's in the new livery, and I think that's pretty striking. So guys, we're going to move on, and Geography Genius 267 has our next airport.
Yes, so the next airport, I believe, is the final airport we will talk about today, and that is Ronald Reagan Airport, which is in Virginia.
Yes, guys, that's the one that I was confusing it with, as you know, that it's in America. So this is Ronald Reagan Washington International Airport. Geography Genius 267, do you want to give a short description of its location?
Yes, so Virginia, which is the state that it is very close to Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C., as you can see, the name of the airport is called Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. That's because it is in Washington, but not in Washington, very close to Washington, just on the outskirts, in Virginia. And Washington, not to be confused with Washington, the state, is Washington, District of Columbia, i.e. Washington, D.C., capital city of the United States. But the largest city is New York. But yeah, you know, it sometimes happens because George Washington was the president of the United States. So the capital was named after him. The first president he was.
And here we have it saying that it's the District of Columbia, Virginia. So Geography 367 is right here. And Ronald Reagan was a past American president. So yes, so we're going to move on to look at the planes here, some plane spotting, last plane spotting today rather. So a couple of just private jets over here, just plain blank. And we don't really get many aircraft, but there's a Southwest in the old livery. There's a Southwest 737 in the old livery. There is an Air Canada Express Embraer jet over there. Over here, we have a Frontier aircraft in old livery, an A320 to be specific. There's a Southwest in the old livery, a 737. And then we don't really get much aircraft here. So we're going to move on and on here. Here we have Delta A319. Then we also have another Delta 717 over here. I don't know what that noise is.
I think there was some issues. I don't know what happened.
Yes, so over here we have a JetBlue A320, another JetBlue A320 over here, another JetBlue A320. Now this was clearly an old shot because this is a US Airways Express Embraer jet, and this must have been taken before 2013 because US Airways did not exist after 2013 because obviously American Airlines bought it. And talking of American Airlines, here we have an American Embraer jet. Or I think that might be a 737 actually, sorry for the mistake, guys. But American Airlines bought US Airways and they merged, and it made American Airlines the biggest airline in the world, well, at the time. So we have another US Express aircraft here. So we're gonna just move on, and a couple more aircraft here. There's another US Airways Express A320, another US Airways Express. So this terminal is probably just dedicated to US Airways Express, and until there, it's all US Airways Express. And there's an American Eagle E175, which must have been inherited from US Airways Express, which another jet is there. Okay, guys, that's it from Simple Aviation. Now, I'm sure Geography Genius 67 would appreciate you subscribing to his channel and checking out his podcast. Geography Genius.
Yes, indeed.
How can viewers go to your podcast and your YouTube channel?
Yes, so if you'd like to view our podcast, then head to anchor.fm _ Geography Explained 2021, no spaces, no caps, and you will be directed to our podcast. And even though Aviation 18 has almost retired his podcast, he said he will be recording episodes a bit less regularly because of his YouTube channel. We will still be trying to record once in 3 days or so. So do look at that. We're currently in the season about global warming. No, sorry, not global warming. Saving the planet in general, which is very interesting. So do look at that. And if you would like to see our YouTube channel, then you can just search Geography Explained, or you could just go into Simple Aviation's channel and scroll down and head into the Friends of Simple Aviation. We are there, and please subscribe if you like our videos and like them.
That's right. And there's I know that Geography Genius mentioned that we are retiring our podcast. Well, that's not completely true, guys. And I know that all of our podcast fans would definitely not like it if we were to terminate our podcast. And so Geography Genius was not completely true on that statement. And guys, I think Geography Genius made a mistake reading out his URL, but I can confirm that his URL is anchor.fm / Geography Explained 2021. And for you, those of you who want to know more about our podcast, please do head over to anchor.fm / simple aviation, and you will be directed there, and you can be listening to our podcast from Spotify, Anchor, really any platform of your choice that is accepted by Anchor. I just want to give a quick shout out to our listeners and where they're from on our podcast now. So we've got listeners from Virginia, Ohio, New Jersey, Oregon, Florida, Texas, Georgia, New York, California, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Washington, Minnesota, Alabama, Massachusetts, Kentucky, Idaho, Iowa, South Carolina, Utah, Maryland, Nevada, and Michigan. So that's that for America. United Kingdom, we've got England, Northern Ireland, and Wales. We've got listeners from Leinster in Ireland, Karnataka and West Bengal in India. We've got listeners from Baden-Württemberg region in Germany and Hesse. And we've also got listeners from Southern District in Israel, Central District in Israel, Tel Aviv. We've also got listeners from Manama in Bahrain. We've also got listeners from Flanders in Belgium, got listeners from Pays de la Loire in France, and finally, we've also got a listener from Japan. So thank you guys for watching. And if you do enjoy this, please do like and subscribe to Simple Aviation and more, and also do check out Geography Genius's platforms. And
can I just add one more thing? Also do check out Sandy 777X's podcast, because he just started it last week, and I'm sure he'd really appreciate it if you visit anchor.fm/Sandy 777X for his podcast episodes about outer space and Earth.
That's right, and I'm just going to check if that link exists, and it does exist, guys. So it's called the Outer Space and Earth Podcast, as Geography Genius 267 mentioned. And so his first episode is called Earth, the Ozone Layer. And so yeah, so Sandy 777X would definitely want you to check out his podcast. And guys, that's it. And we'll be catching you in the next one. And yeah, goodbye. And yeah, do share it with your friends and family.